What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be working on my brother's K-Spot. We're going to be finishing up the wiring for the ECU, tidying up little things. We still need an overflow tank. We put the twin loop on and all that. But before I get into all that, huge shout out to David Cordell over at Hybrid Racing for hooking us up all the time and helping us out with the builds, especially with the hatch. I love that B-series shifter that I have in there, and of course my brother's K-Swap, which you can kind of see over there. We're working on it right now. But let me crack this open, show you guys what I got. This is for the budget track car, so this will not be towards the budget or the spendings I'm spending on the build, because they hooked this up for free. So yeah, let's crack this open real quick. Oh, that was a bad I feel like I already know what this is, because that car does, the budget track car does have a single cam in it. So this should be a shifter. Oh, hell yes. He finally, this is gonna be cool. This is a wall banner, so it's gonna go up there with the Chronicles one. Thank you. There we go. B and D series short shifter for the budget track car, which I hands down love this shifter. I have one in the hatch. The only difference is on the hatch I'm using a innovative linkage, so it's completely different. It's a little bit more solid. But then on D series, there's really no slop in D series shifter, so that's gonna be a plus. And we're gonna install this not today, probably some other day. And he did throw in the Hybrid Racing D series solid bushings. Is it for D series? Yep. So thank you. Cool. I cannot wait to put this on. I'll open this in a different video. I might put this up today. And yeah, that's it. Let's get to working on my brother's K-Swap and finishing this thing up already. There's the Type C's on it. Brother's taking out the valve cover so he can put his new valve cover on. And the main thing I need to do today is this. It looks like a wiring mess. Well, it kind of is right now. But I just want to finish this thing all up today. This is going to be for the O2 sensor right here. So, just gonna have to clean this thing all up. Fan switch. And then, where's the coolant temp? One of these, this is the charge light. I think this is the coolant temp. Or no, this is for the gauge. For the cluster, the coolant temp gauge. So I need to connect this up today, because we're gonna try to bleed the system. I have the fan connected to the OEM fan right now. So I'm probably gonna look into the diagram and figure this out. This looks like it's supposed to be going somewhere into this. Wiring is such a headache sometimes, but I'll look into it. So the main thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this one. This is the coolant temp. And huge shout out to Chowstar. If you guys aren't following his channel, he does have a K20 coupe for K24. And we're normally running that water temp sensor down there, but we bought an adapter so I could put the sensor up here so it's the correct reading, because, well, on all B series and D series, you want it to be reading off of the head. So we're gonna be putting that on. And then, yeah, but so far, no coolant leaks, nothing. There should be coolant in there still. Nope. Yeah, there's coolant in there, but we'll fill it up more. This is what we're gonna be using. This little adapter that goes on top of the manifold. Just gotta take this one off. Just like that. Oh, I'm gonna take out all that old thread seal tape. That's stuck in there still. There's coolant in there. Cool. Now to grab a new little plug.
I'm not low on oil.
What do you mean?
I did jack up the rear like earlier. There's only half oil in there.
It's probably just you tripping.
No, I'm not tripping.
Just wait, it's been sitting. Alright, now I'm gonna get a socket, tighten that down, and then put the sensor on top. Okay, if I flip it upside down so no oil comes out. Oh, that's good. Here's a better look at all the goodness in there. Stock cams, but they just have a Super Tech powertrain in there. And here's my brother's new one. What you got?
I'm not good at alignment.
Okay, here. Here's our brother's new one. I think it's candy red?
Yeah.
Because these grommets are so new, so I'm just gliding them around the spark plug hole. Alright, now good. Now my brother just has to put on the hardware and put it down. Just clean up a little bit after. And this one doesn't have the cash can bungs on it. The reason why is because we're not running a cash can on this car, so we're just gonna run a filter. And then this one in here, I'm probably just gonna just display it in the room or something. And he does have his Alright, well, while he does that, I'm just gonna do this. So I'm doing the wiring right now. I'm assuming that this fan wire, you only use it if you're planning on not using it off the off the ECU. This is probably like a hard wire. So, because I looked up this wire and it goes to the same plug. Like there's two of them. One splits into the separate wire and one splits into the ECU. So we're gonna go off the ECU since the fan in the front is wired off of the OEM headlight harness. So we're just gonna tape this off. We don't need this. And all this, I'm slowly cleaning it up. Charge light, this is for the battery. I don't think we're gonna be using that. And then I gotta wire this one up. This is the only one I have to wire up. This is for the temp gauge, and it goes towards the sensor on the intake manifold that I just put on. But I don't have enough wire, so I have to go run to the store and go grab some, or go buy some like 8 gauge, or 10 or 12 gauge wire to connect this. And after that, plug it all up, and then run a ghetto overflow. We're probably gonna use like a Coke can or something. Overflow is just so we can bleed the system and see if it leaks. And that wire has to go to this plug right over here. Damn. My brother went to go buy some electrical wire so I could wire up the temp sensor. And I was having a hard time deciding how to mount the ECU. I don't want to put it right here. I want to be able to put it in the factory spot where this factory ECU cover, wait, this is not the right side. This cover can fit right over perfectly like factory, just like that. And you won't even know that it's there. So that was the best spot I could find for it. And how I did it was I used a long like intake 10mm bolt with a little nut, a fat nut, just to space it out so it's not even, it's pretty much floating and it's not gonna rub against anything. So solid. Now as I plug everything up, and we should be good to go. Where's the engine harness? This is the engine harness right here that has to get plugged in. Voila! After some time, all that wire is behind here. And then this is from our brother's amp, and this is gonna be for the temp sensor for the gauge. Just waiting for him to pick up the wire so I could do that. And yeah, it fits all right there. The only thing I couldn't do is put that one clip back in, but it's not going anywhere. And earlier we tried to put the twin loop on, but for some reason this flange is way too big and it won't even line up to the Yonaka piping that I was using on my twin loop, which is very odd. So we might just drive to the muffler shop with no muffler and then just get it welded all together. We'll have them put a flange on at the right size and weld it all together. Threw the banner up. I have the temp sensor all plugged up. It's not the prettiest. I might heat shrink this black and then yeah, have it routed through with the engine harness all the way into there. Now all I have to do is connect it to this wire and this, fill the car with a little bit more coolant, and then turn the car on and bleed the system. And then yeah, make sure that shit's in neutral. Ghetto overflow, but we are gonna add coolant to the system. So we're gonna bleed it, and I'm gonna be using this. I only bought one of these because I'm so used to using funnels. We already checked for leaks, but I just want to double check because this one was leaking before. Ready to start this thing, and then just gonna be using the stock exhaust for now, since I get the twin loop modified to fit. Oh, and he did pick up new spindles. These are the stock LX spindles, LXDX, so they're 9-inch. He picked up some integral ones, so they're 10-inch. And if anything, we'll run a bigger caliper on it, so it'll be 11-inch. Time to bleed the system. And the main things I'm gonna be checking on is, what's it called? The temp gauge, if it works. Hold on a second. I don't hear the fuel pump priming. No. Yeah, I don't hear the fuel pump priming. Gotta check. I'm gonna check these here real quick. Alright. Let's see how quiet this thing is. Oh, it's so quiet. So quiet.
Fuck it. I'm just gonna do stock muffler.
Super quiet.
Super quiet.
Okay.
Wait, so we still got you.
Yeah, we can. Now I'm oh no, it's fine.
Really?
Yeah. Now I'm gonna keep it on the coolant and the temp gauge. We gotta see if the temp gauge actually works, because the fan's gonna be running off of the ECT sensor. And oh my god, this food has no fucking gas. Dude, you don't have gas?
Where's it on?
It's on E.
I know, I barely have it.
This whole time you had no gas? Oh wow. check engine light, I think it's mainly for, oh wow, the temp gauge went up. Alright, so we gotta see, hopefully it doesn't overheat. I'm not too sure on where the temp gauge should be at on K series, especially in the EK, but hopefully it doesn't go any higher than that. Yeah, let's just pray the fan turns on. It stinks. Check for leaks and stuff. Good so far, no coolant leaks. Cool, temp gauge staying halfway. So that's good. So your windows don't work? That's weird. How about your door locks? Huh.
Alarm's not connected.
Huh. I had to turn it off because the fan switch was the wrong way and it's too hot, so I flipped the plugs around. Now I should be going the right way. Now I go with the fan, turn back on. Waiting for the fan to turn back on. It turned on earlier.
Halfway now.
Alright, yeah, just give it some time. The fan should be blowing. Yeah, it turns on, boy. Fan works. Woo! Good to go. Now to get a coolant reservoir or a coolant overflow tank and I go for a lower drive. And make sure everything's tight.
Is it halfway?
Oh shit, it's a little bit more than half, but I think that's how it is on the case. Let's just let it sit for a bit and see where it actually sits. Hopefully it doesn't get any hotter. Alright, so the fan turns on, everything's fine, but I think the sensor's not reading it right. Like the temp, this is off a single cam, so I don't know if the temp matters, as in like in the sensor. So the sensor is, I think this is, alright, I think the sensor, the ECT sensor that we're using right now is for the single cam, so it's not reading the K swap like correctly, especially on this gauge. It's showing that it's almost overheating. Like the temp gauge would go super high, but right when I turn on the car, and this car's been sitting for a while, so I turn on the car and the temp gauge already started moving within like 10-15 seconds. It's already started moving up, so I don't think the sensor is reading it right. So we're gonna go buy like the K20 one. I don't know if this actually matters, but we're gonna try the K20 one and then see, and then after that it should be good to go for a little test drive. But the fan kicks on, which is good. Pretty much didn't really bleed the system yet, so we're gonna bleed the system again when we get the sensor, and then yeah, and he's gonna have to upgrade his brakes because his brakes are gonna suck. I do need to put the brake booster check valve in there though, because he's not gonna have any brakes for sure. And I picked up that check valve from my work. Yeah, it's over there. This little piece right here. This little check valve for the brakes, so it can hold vacuum. So we're gonna put that in his car when we get the new sensor. Yeah, I don't know where else to go with this video. So that's it, guys. That's all it says. Just keep boating. And can't wait to see this thing on the road. Or I can't even be the first. Like I can't wait to actually drive it.
Dude, I like them exhaust.